Assalamualaikum and have a very good day to everyone. First and foremost, I would like to express my gratitude to the International Innovation Asbot Malaysia 2022. I'm Nohazizi Lebailong from Setapak Vocational College, is the presenter and the first author. And the second author is Shamilin Sinadurai from Setapak Vocational College. The topic of our presentation for the conference is the development of vocational taxonomy, the application of the Delphi technique. We have a look at the presentation plan. We will first go through the introduction, which there is a research background, problem statement, aim and objective. The second is a methodology, and then have a look at the findings, and before ending it with conclusion and discussion. So let's start with introduction and background. As we know, Malaysian vocational education does not have a taxonomy to suit the needs of students. Therefore, this research aims to identify the importance of developing a vocational taxonomy and to develop a vocational taxonomy by adapting and innovating the existing Bloom's taxonomy to suit the needs of vocational education in Malaysia. So we start with the educational taxonomy. The main idea of taxonomy in education is to classify educational objectives in such a way that they can be organized sequentially. The basic level must be mastered before the next level. According to Bloom, 1956, education taxonomy encompasses three domains comprising cognitive domains, including intellectual abilities and skills, affective domains related to feelings, attitudes, values, and emotion, and psychomotor domains related to manipulation or motor skills. Education and vocational training use psychomotor domains that involve physical movement, coordination, and motor skills. In order to develop a comprehensive vocational curriculum, it is necessary to develop a taxonomy or at least a system that includes the classification of psychomotor skills and knowledge. And now we are going to have a look at the problem statement of these studies. The main weakness of Bloom's taxonomy is its lack of emphasis on the psychomotor domains, which is the main field of vocational education. The current evaluation of practical and psychomotor domains based on Bloom's taxonomy is doubtful, as it is more appropriate for cognitive domains. Bloom's taxonomy as a whole lacks emphasis on psychomotor, visualization, problem solving, and inventive aspect. The psychomotor field is the most emphasized in vocational education, particularly with regard to the development of physical or practical skills. Bloom's taxonomy model has not been able to fully measure aspects of critical thinking and problem solving. Here is our aim and objective of the research. First, identify the importance of developing vocational taxonomy. Define the vocational taxonomy domains based on input from expert panels. Develop a vocational taxonomy based on expert panel views. Testing the appropriateness of vocational taxonomy from the perspective of a vocational teacher. The next one is about my research and methodology. This study involved three phases. The first phase is need analysis. The second phase is development design. And the third phase is the evaluation. The first phase starts with identifying the importance of vocational taxonomy and the domains needed to develop vocational taxonomy. The next analysis phase involves literature reviews to identify the need to develop a vocational taxonomy, as well as to gain insight into the key domains of vocational taxonomy. The six key domains identified are the inventive, problem solving, visualization, fine motor skill, gross motor skill, and vocational knowledge. Therefore, there is an urgent need for a new taxonomy tailored to a vocational needs. The second phase involves the design development of a vocational taxonomy. In this phase, the Delphi technique is used to obtain expert agreement to validate the identified domains. 7 experts comprising lecturers from teacher training institute and universities, as well as policymakers from the Malaysian Ministry of Education, were selected for this part of the study. In the first round, these experts were interviewed. Then in the second and the third round, they answered questionnaire. A high level of agreement was achieved by the third round, so the interview process was halted. The experts agreed that vocational teaching strategies required the transition from simple activities to more complex tasks. For these reasons, the vocational taxonomy is designed to be hierarchical, starting from the most basic domain of knowledge and culminating in the inventive domain. In the third phase, a survey was conducted among 366 vocational educators in several vocational training centers to verify and evaluate the effectiveness of the vocational taxonomy developed by the researcher. In addition to the survey, 9 respondents were also interviewed to obtain qualitative data from triangulation purposes. This data is important to the study because it indicates the effectiveness of new taxonomy at the implementation levels. Based on the final agreement of the 7 Delphi expert panels, 6 domains of vocational taxonomy have been agreed. First is vocational knowledge. The second is gross motor skill, fine motor skill, visualization, problem solving, and the last is inventive skills. So here are the findings or the summary of our research. From the domains of vocational taxonomy, we hope that our students, from the inventive skill to ability to produce or invent something new that has never existed, involve high-tech new design or methods. Problem solving to ability to think critically and creatively, to make decisions and use certain strategies to solve a problem creatively involve practical works and project design. Visualization to ability to produce a new designs or design truth images in the mind and generated in the form of graphic or 3D drawings in engineering drawings. Fine motor skills to ability to use small muscle to perform more detailed work and required observation of craftsmanship. Gross motor skills, ability to use large muscle of the limbs or the whole body to do practical in the workshop. And the last one is a vocational knowledge to ability to recall specific information such as terms, flows and sequences, classification and categories, principles and generalization, as well as theories and structure in vocational fields. Now we are comes to the conclusion and a discussion. So based on this finding, I conclude that implication of developing the vocational taxonomy to vocational education start with curriculum development. Curriculum developers can refer to vocational taxonomy to develop a more comprehensive vocational curriculum. The design of the vocational curriculum involving vocational taxonomy, which refers to the classification of educational objectives that are at different levels, from the simplest knowledge and behavior level to the most complex levels. Teaching and learning. Teaching and learnings are more systematic and organized with appropriate teaching methods or strategies. Reference by vocational educators for demonstration, simulation, and project-based learning in line with the existing domains of vocational taxonomy. A practical work, determining practical work to identify students' competencies and skill in involving gross motor skill and fine motor skills, and therefore aims to train students to master and practice psychomotor. In practical aspect, teacher can use vocational taxonomy as a guide to practice. And vocational assessment. Vocational taxonomy is important to classify the level of assessment in the vocational field. That is all for today's presentation. I would like to thank you again to IAM 2022 and for all of you who have spent time to go through this presentation. Have a nice day. Thank you.